the previous race at Flemington. I wonder if that's an omen for Thorns later in the day here at Rosehill Gardens, and I'm referring to race 7, number 7, Thorns. Was beaten an eyelash by Accuse at Randwick on the inside track on the 24th of November. And then, of course, Accuse winning this afternoon at Flemington, taking his earnings to well over 300,000. A 7-year-old gelding. He's been a great money spinner, hasn't he, for Woodlands? Anyway, that might be a good guide for Thorns, who knows. Well, how much longer are they going to give Handy Ivor here? And I think the boys would be better represented positioning the other runners here in case we get another Handy Ivor situation. Yes, well, there's Convincing going forward. And now Handy Ivor has finally consented. Bruce Compton riding Tap to It, real family horse. Trained by Marina Compton and by Marina, and stabled, of course, at Warhope, where the Comptons reside, by Rhythm, so it's well named, isn't it? Tap to It. Well, they're getting these other horses up very quickly now. Academia walks in, Bowl Zephyr coming in. So National Bid and Halls of Assembly will be the last two for race number 4 here at the Gardens. 1900 the journey. National Bid is in. Halls of Assembly to the outside now. Red light is on. A start is imminent. Parhelia into 350 in New South Wales, 10 cents shorter than Bowood Forest, and they're off this time, and Tap to It from the inside left best. Convincing got out pretty well, and so did the heavily backed Parhelia. Enchanted Spider not far away. Halls of Assembly trying to find a posse with Bowl Zephyr and Bowood Forest Academia, and then a gap to Tyrrell, followed closely by Carl Perra, and well out of its ground is Handy Ivor in company with National Bid, but Halls of Assembly from the outside alley across onto the rails to lead, heading to the back of the track, a length on Parhelia, wider as Bowl Zephyr. Tap to It fourth the inside, and then Enchanted Spider deeper out as Academia from Convincing. Then Bowood Forest, Handy Ivor, followed by Carl Perra and Tyrrell on the inside, and 2.5 lengths to National Bid. Bowl Zephyr to the lead now, was caught in no man's land, and Bowl Zephyr going down towards the 1,000 marker. Opens up a length and a half on Halls of Assembly, a half to Parhelia, a length to Tap to It on the inside of Enchanted Spider, wider as Academia, and then Bowood Forest in the centre, Convincing on the fence, a gap of a length to Handy Ivor. Then Carl Perra, Tyrrell, and 2.5. Last of all is National Bid. This is the order, passing the 800 marker in the 4th at Rose Hill, and Bowl Zephyr is the leader, a length and a half. Halls of Assembly, 3/4 to Parhelia without cover, followed by Academia, Tap to It, Enchanted Spider, a length and a half then to Bowood Forest, 600 out. Convincing over on the inside, and then a break to Tyrrell, Carl Perra. Handy Ivor second last, and trailing is National Bid. Coming around the corner, Bowl Zephyr from Halls of Assembly, a length to Parhelia, followed by Tap to It. Convincing getting up on the inside, and Bowood Forest is on the extreme outside. He's sprinting quickly under his 60 kgs, so fast in fact he hits the front, and down past the 200 Bowood Forest raced away. Halls of Assembly second, Parhelia not going on with it. Tyrrell is getting home late, moving into second posse, chasing Bowood Forest all in vain, and Bowood Forest walked in from Tyrrell and Convincing. And then came Enchanted Spider, followed home by Carl Perra, Tap to It. Parhelia disappointed. Then Enchanted Spider, followed by Academia, National Bid. Bowl Zephyr's run second last, and Absolute was Handy Ivor. Decent win that under the 60 kgs. 380 and 190. 6 Tyrrell, 349, Convincing 960. Well, I know he was a reserve in the Christmas Cup, but he was still a dual acceptor, and I'll say it until the day I die. Gee, I tell you what, we should always have something on a dual acceptor. It's a wonderful system. Jay Sheehan, consecutive double. Number 1, 380 and 190, Bowood Forest, 60 kgs, by Forest Glow from Safe and Sound, trained here by Frank Gardner. For Miss Brewer, MJ, DR Halamar, Jackson, K. Pagotto, G. Droger, R. Warren and W. Foster, and perfectly written by Jay Sheehan. Numbers 1, 6, 9, 7, and the 5th and 6th to follow. 6 Tyrrell second, Paul Falvey for Gwenda Markwell, and 9 is third, Convincing, Len Beasley for Bede Murray.
And by Brian Mayfield Smith, son of Rubiton, stable having tremendous success with, and he's a firm favourite. Apparently the trip to Auckland is still on for Maguire, providing he pulls up okay. the horse that won that Tiffany's Best, and the runner-up Vasileos are going to be set for the Bagot Handicap here on New Year's Day. The first two winners today, Lady Mulroy and Frangelica, both have Adelaide in mind next year. Lady Mulroy was a $25,000 purchase from the Premier Sales. Owner wanted to sell her after her first start and Inglorious last, but Len Trelaw twisted the owner's arm to stay in it. He'll be glad he did now. She's in good form. We're up to the fifth event. Prince Rubiton, can he keep on his winning way? Here's the favourite at 260, 530. Bomber Bill has had good support. Racing. And coming out of the gates pretty quickly was Bomber Bill. Honourable mention straight over to the outside rail. And only Suit and Dash for Cash are going down the inside section of the track. The others go across to the grandstand rail. And showing good speed was Bomber Bill. Prince Rubiton was up there. And also Bush Outlaw from Longestine, Mr. Royston. And Demon Taj was showing good early toe. Honourable mentions right up against the outside rail. In behind them, Captain Clipper. Kashkai was up against the outside rail. And then came Generalissimo and Off to Sea. And on the flat side, it's Suit and Dash for Cash under the whip. About 400 left to travel. It's Prince Rubiton just in front of Bush Outlaw, Longestine, Demon Taj, Mr. Royston, Generalissimo running on. Off to Sea held up, trying to get through. Prince Rubiton is the leader. Generalissimo giving chase on the flat side. Dash for Cash is going through. Prince Rubiton led Generalissimo, and then Off to Sea. Prince Rubiton in front of Generalissimo. Prince Rubiton ahead in front. Generalissimo still coming the inside. Prince Rubiton, a nose Generalissimo, and 3 lengths to Off to Sea. Then came Captain Clipper, Dash for Cash and Suit. Came down the inside section, but they weren't all that far away. And then Bomber Bill, he was gone at about the 400. Honourable mention Kashkai, Mr. Royston, and then Bush Outlaw. Demon Taj knocked up Longestine at the end. 1 minute 2.6 will be the time. Prince Rubiton had a fight on his hands, but he's fought on to win again. Number 7 from Generalissimo, who was winding up and really toughed it out with Prince Rubiton. There was little in it on the line. And third placing to Off to Sea, number 15. A pretty good effort, but was a few lengths away from the winner. Prince Rubiton, 4 out of 4 this preparation, and 6 out of 10 all up. And he's taken the rising class pretty comfortably each time in. This time he's been pushed by a horse that's really a Class 6 Generalissimo, even though he's got a good record. He was first up today and nearly got him. Off to Sea runs third. Fourth in number 9, Captain Clipper. Another honest run from it. And Dash for Cash was on the flat side of the track, and it ended up fifth. It was under the whip of about the 500, so it battled on pretty well. Fifth in was number 6. The time, 1:2.6, and the favourite prevails, Prince Rubiton. And the numbers are 7, 11 and 15 on race 5.
All right, thanks, Dan. Yeah, what a finish that was. And he's got in again, Prince Rubiton, and first big test against the better company horses. Generalissimo, very good fresh horses, run a great race and Off to Sea. $27 Quinella, $35.40 Exacta, and $411 Trifecta there on race 5. Eagle Farm.
Harp of Tara just short of the gates at the moment. This race will be followed by the Christmas Cup, and just having a look back through the winners over the years to 1948, some interesting names spring to mind. Anyway, let's get back to business here. A couple of these runners were very keen to get on with the job, and a couple of noses appeared prominently as the horses got up on the hind. Now, Magna Force has been taken away from the barrier stalls. It was the one that obviously reared the highest. And again, we're ready for action. Gates are back, they're off, and last to leave was Hello Pamela. First out was Retrace. Magna Force going up hastily, followed by Prude Miss Helter Skelter. The favourites on a limb early, Solitary Soldier from My Tally into Hello Pamela, and immediately dropping to the rear, Harp of Tara. Magna Force just leads Retrace as they head down to the 1,000 marker. A length away third is Solitary Soldier. Well, he's caught out very, very wide at the moment from Prude into Hello Pamela, and as They come out of the back straight. What's he going to do here? Little Lenny Beasley on Solitary Soldier. Well, he's still 3 wide. Magna Force just leads Retrace. A length Solitary Soldier, followed by Prude on the inside, and then Miss Helter Skelter, Hello Pamela between horses, and 2 lengths My Tally and Half of Tara. Magna Force at the 600 ahead on Retrace, and a length the Solitary Soldier. This will really test the favourite. He's had no luck whatsoever, followed by Prude, Hello Pamela, and then dropping off a little Miss Helter Skelter from My Tally and Half of Tara. Entering the straight now, Magna Force headed by Prude on the inside, and again Retrace, and Solitary Soldier is still battling on. He's never been near the rails, but Solitary Soldier hits the front and past the distance at the 200. Solitary Soldier a length Prude, My Tally and Half of Tara getting home late. It's Solitary Soldier the leader. On the outside, Half of Tara with My Tally, but Solitary Soldier's doing enough, and that was a game performance. Solitary Soldier wins from a very close finish. Half of Tara with My Tally, and not far back Prude, Miss Helter Skelter, Hello Pamela, Retrace and Magna Force whipped them in. Well, that was a very good performance. Number 3, Solitary Soldier. I guarantee he was no closer than 3 or 4 to the inside at any time, but his classes carry him to success here, and in doing so in New South Wales, returning $1.90 and $1.10. It's pretty close for second and third here, between Half of Tara, who number 7 was showing at $2.80, and the horse on his outside, My Tally, number 5, and it's showing at $2.80. I think they'll finish in that order. I think 7 and 5, Half of Tara and My Tally, but I wouldn't put my life on it. The winner by Hector Protector from Solitary Flight, winning double for Gay Waterhouse, and winning Oda, Mr. Kawashita. Here's the second. Number 7, second, Half of Tara, Rob Brewer. And number 5 is third, and that is My Tally, ridden by Daryl McClellan. 8 was officially fourth, and that was Miss Helter Skelter. 3, 7, 5 and 8. Yes, 3, 7, 5 and 8 are the official placings. The runner-up is by Song of Tara, trained by Bobby Thompson, Rob Brewer, and My Tally is by Johan Quatz, trained by Max Lee, is Daryl McClellan. Time was 1:24.11. That'll stand as a class record until broken, not previously run over the 1400. 35.37 the sectional, and here are the totes. Number 3, Solitary Soldier.
Town, ridden by Shane Cale for Gail Trevina, and they combine again with this 10-year-old. Now Requiem comes up, and they're just about set for a start. Runners are all in, and they're ready to run. Starter waiting for the all clear from the stewards, checking his watch. There's a race in progress at the Gold Coast where a horse was cast under the gates and brought about a delay with the start of that race. But these old-timers, most of them anyway, experienced stayers, stand fairly well in the gates. Rusty Dusty Gray's bobbing his head up and down, but basically they're well behaved. The Port Adelaide Cup lead up, the Christmas Handicap lead up is next. That's the City of Marion. Ready, off they go. Racing in the OJ Smith Challenge Stakes, Afterburn out the back with Southern Way. And first away, Famous Pirate, Gilded Star, Influenza working towards the lead. Requiem outside them, and then came Jamestown, Rusty Dusty Grey. Astro Lonte moving up in the red cap, followed by Afterburn, and Southern Way was last. They work along the back straight, approaching the mile. Influenza rolled to the lead from Requiem, who's keeping him honest, and Requiem wants the front from Influenza and will take it up. Third, Astro Lonte. Fourth, Gilded Star. A length away, Jamestown from Famous Pirate, Afterburn. Then Rusty Dusty Grey and Southern Way at the tail. About to leave the back of the course. 1,300 metres to go, and Requiem, who hasn't raced for 5 weeks, is fairly fresh and rolling along. 3 in front of Influenza. A neck away, third, Astro Lonte. 2 lengths away came Gilded Star. Then last year's winner, Jamestown, who's racing on the outside of Famous Pirate from Afterburn, and then Rusty Dusty Grey. Checking off heels there, and Southern Way goes by Rusty Dusty Grey. 1,000 left, and they're almost halfway or past it now as they swing on the side of the course, and the pilot is Requiem. 3/4 to Influenza off the inside. Third, Astro Lonte. Fourth came Jamestown, and then came Famous Pirate from Gilded Star, Southern Way. Afterburn a fair way back, but going beautifully, needs a run from Rusty Dusty Grey. A packing field in the OJ Smith Challenge Stakes coming around the corner. 600 metres to go. Requiem, Influenza from Astro Lonte. Afterburn going through, one off the fences, coming home well. And then Jamestown, Gilded Star, Rusty Dusty Grey, not in it. At the 400 in the Challenge Stakes, Influenza race to Requiem, but here's Afterburn. Let go with a run on the outside. Race to the lead now, Afterburn. Requiem tries to fight back. Then Astro Lonte, Gilded Star, but Afterburn exploded away on the Challenge Stakes. Dash 2 in front of Influenza. Astro Lonte, Requiem. Look at this for a Port Adelaide Cup trial. Rusty Dusty Grey runs on late with Astro Lonte for the Miners. Afterburn one pulling up by 5 lengths. Second, Rusty Dusty Grey, and third, Astro Lonte from Gilded Star, Southern Way, Influenza, Requiem. Then Jamestown, and Famous Pirate was last. What a win. Sensational victory by Afterburn, number 9. Bringing up a double to David Jolly, the trainer who prepared Zip Zipperay to win the third race. And he shows his hand at preparing a staying mare on target for a Port Adelaide Cup victory on that performance. She's by Jeune out of El Johora, ridden by Joe Bowditch, who also rode Zip Zipperay for David. Raced by R and K Cowper, Jay Wilkes, David Jolly, C McLeod, C Fellers, T Reedman, DR and Jay Quinn. Afterburn, number 9, has won easily, and none of those horses will beat her in the Port Adelaide Cup on that performance, because the further they went, the more she ran away from them. 9 is first. Rusty Dusty Grey's put up a good effort for second. He had a little bit of trouble off the back straight, checking off the heels of the winner, mind you, Paul Gatron Campbell. He's come home well and got second from Astro Lonte, number 4, Jared Lorenzini for Ken Sweeney. Placings on the challenge, 9, 6 and 4.
Thanks, Hilton. Yeah, the longer the distances, the step up in distances, of course, the better this horse gets, being by Melbourne Cup winner Jeune, and exploded away from them, as Hilton said, this 4-year-old mare, for a very impressive victory in the Challenge Stakes, and Joe Bowditch giving him a double there today. So 9, 6 and 4. The Grey running a nice race too, and Rusty Dusty came home well and runs another place there, racing well. And Astrolante third, so 9, 6 and 4. All right, Alfie, and difficult and tricky is usually where Alf comes good. So the pumper into 220. The firm favourite, Burley, Knockrow, Elephant Rock have all had support. They move in well. Here's Dan for the 6th.
The Bounty Hawk Handicap is race 6. The pumper, the favourite, number 2, trained by Roger James and Greg Childs aboard. All set. 221.50 the pumper, and they're racing. Prolific bounded out in front of Keystone and Knockrow, who's going up to second. Collins Street is right up there in the early part. They were followed by the pumper, allowed to drift back. He'll end up about second last. Elephant Rock on his outside, and Burley getting back in the early part will settle at the end of the field. It's Knockrow outside Prolific in the early part as Mad Harry goes up 3 wide around the Red Dimple. And nearer the rails, Keystone from Collins Street, 1.5 lengths away then. 2 Elephant Rock on the outside of the favourite, the pumper, and 2 lengths away, Burley. About 1,500 metres to travel, and working up, Knockrow has taken up the running. Mad Harry goes to second, and Prolific now box seating, and the Red Dimple 4th. Now that quartet get away 4 or 5 lengths to Keystone and Collins Street, and then 2 lengths away to the pumper and Elephant Rock, and 2.5 lengths to Burley. 1,200 to travel, and Knockrow in front in a familiar role, leading. It's a length to Mad Harry and Prolific. 1 away the Red Dimple. 4 lengths to Keystone. On the inside of Collins Street, then Elephant Rock and the pumper. And a length away last is Burley. 1,000 metres to travel, and Knockrow leads. 1/2 length away, Mad Harry. 2 lengths away third, Prolific's had a nice run. Then the Red Dimple, about 2.5 to Keystone, starting to bridge the gap on 4th. A length away Collins Street, then Elephant Rock and the pumper, and 2 lengths to Burley. They're starting to wind it up a little bit, heading towards the 600, and Knockrow just led, Mad Harry the outside. 2 lengths away then to Prolific from the Red Dimple. Elephant Rock improving around Collins Street. The pumper coming through in the middle. Keystone getting up on the rails and Burley, but they're well bunched into the straight. Knockrow's a narrow leader, but the challengers are coming thick and fast now. Getting a run on the inside, Keystone, and the pumper gets out the favourite. Elephant Rock down the outside running a race, and then the Red Dimple. The pumper and Elephant Rock go to the lead. Collins Street further out on the track. It's the pumper, Elephant Rock, then Keystone. The pumper in front, but Elephant Rock won't go away. The pumper a neck to Elephant Rock. The pumper a 1/2 length to Elephant Rock. Now and the favourite comes clear. The pumper wins it from Elephant Rock, and Burley got up for third. Then Keystone, Collins Street, the Red Dimple, Mad Harry, Knockrow and Prolific. Solidly run race, 2-2 on the fast track. And the pumper, number 2, found something. Elephant Rock looked a chance. Gee, he was game. Jockey had to go for another hole with about 50 to go, and it was right at that point that the pumper had gone from about a neck in front to 3/4. And he was strong on the line with the 58 kilos. Greg Childs coming through the middle of the pack. Favourite prevails. Number 2, the pumper. There was some suggestion that maybe the Australian Cup in the autumn might be one of the goals for this fellow. He's had 11 starts for 5 wins now. Second, Elephant Rock, and number 1, Burley. And they were the last 3 horses when they rounded the turn, even though it was a bunched field. 2, 3, and Burley getting up for third, just ahead of number 8, Keystone, who got the rails run, and Collins Street, probably a better run from him. He looked some sort of a hope at the 200, but the winner and the second horse were drawing away from them. So the favourite prevails, the pumper, 2:30, 1:40 on Super Tab, and the numbers are 2, 3, and 1 on race 6.
2,400 metres starting at the top of the straight. Daniels the man, 360 in New South Wales. Power of Pegasus at 5:30. And majestically walks in, and all is in readiness now for the Merlot Constructions Christmas Cup. And the field is off and running. Bridal Force from the inside, one of the best out. Deer Hill jumped nicely. Daniels the man away very quickly, and the same for Gallant Pride and Arrogant Lad. Now, Daniels the man is about 4 away from the fence, getting a little closer now as they run to the judge a round to go. And Arrogant Lad leads the favourite Daniels the man about a neck. Gallant Pride wide third. Deer Hill the inside fourth. Power of Pegasus one off the rails is next, and then Lanolin followed by Zaraev. Expect a Star between Bridal Force the fence, wide of Pristine Partners, a gap of a length, Silent Impact, and then Altero too majestically, and about 3/4 of a length to Asylum. 1,700 to go, and Arrogant Lad shows the way from Daniels the man, reefing for rain. Gallant Pride is third from Deer Hill. Zaraev scooting around them, then Power of Pegasus, Expect a Star. Lanolin is over on the rails. Pristine Partners wide from Bridal Force. Between horses next, Silent Impact about 2 lengths. Altero around majestically, and 4 lengths to Asylum. To the back in the Christmas Cup, and they leave the 1,400 peg behind them, and Gallant Pride goes to the lead. Daniels the man second, Zaraev third, Arrogant Lad fourth, and Deer Hill is next. Lanolin is parked over on the inside as they race down the back of the course and go by the 1,200 marker. Further out as they run along towards the 1,000 marker at this particular stage was Bridal Force. A length further back is Pristine Partners, followed by Expect a Star on the inside. Power of Pegasus is back running 7th now, followed by Expect a Star. A length further off is majestically Altero, Silent Impact, and 2 lengths to Asylum. To the side they go at the 800, and Gallant Pride from Daniels the man. Zaraev is travelling wide third from Deer Hill. Arrogant Lad the inside from Pristine Partners, and Power of Pegasus. A length to Lanolin, followed by Bridal Force, Expect a Star. They're jamming up, and wider is Altero, followed by majestically Silent Impact, and Asylum down to the corner at the 500 marker, and Daniels the man joins Gallant Pride. Zaraev is in third position from Arrogant Lad and Deer Hill. A length further back is Altero. She's almost the widest and coming home well. At the 300 marker, Daniels the man hits the front, but Altero grabbed it. A length away third is Silent Impact, followed by Deer Hill, and majestically making late ground. Altero hits the front. On the outside, Silent Impact the danger. Altero runs out onto Silent Impact, majestically up on the inside, but Silent Impact, I reckon, from majestically in a very close finish with Altero third, followed by Deer Hill, and Altero just knocked up in the last bit. Lanolin made ground. Daniels the man weakened with Power of Pegasus. Zaraev followed home then by Expect a Star, Bridal Force, and the last group in Pristine Partners, Arrogant Lad, Asylum in company with Gallant Pride. Stand by for placings. Silent Impact has been able to score here, and Silent Impact ridden by none other than Brent Stanley. Number 8, Silent Impact, looks to have just been able to win the cup from majestically, who got home on the inside, and the number is number 8. Number 8, Silent Impact, Brent Stanley first, has paid $23.20 for the win and $5.70 for the place. Number 6 gets second, and that is majestically, ridden by Larry Cassidy, $2.60. Number 1, Altero, ridden by Lenny Beasley third, has paid $3.80, and number 9, Deer Hill, was the official fourth. The winner, Silent Impact, trained by Philip Minter at Cessnock, a horse that won a Newcastle Cup last year. In fact, he's by Casual Lies from Kendall, raced by J and Mrs. C.A. Fitzpatrick, ridden by Brent Stanley, scored by the margin to be determined in 2 minutes 30.78. 35.98 was the sectional time. Majestically second, got home late, just missed, trained by Jack Denham, Larry Cassidy, and Altiro loomed up, hit the front, but just couldn't quite go on with it, ridden by Lenny Beasley for Gay Waterhouse.
Alf, good chance too. Susie Gray is the favourite at Victoria Park for the City of Marion Stakes. Good race. Romilata best back to beat Susie here. As they move in, here's Hilton.
About to move in for the City of Marion Stakes on the inner track. Previous race won by a mare that was in season today. Afterburn doesn't seem to affect her racing by being in season. She had one in season before, David Jolly told me a short time ago, and she is pressing on towards the Port Adelaide Cup. Now they're moving in. Romilata's coming up next. We wait for only about 4 or 5 of them. And there's been a little bit of specking for Furnish, number 3 on track. First up since August. Last ran in the Darwin Cup. But the one that the money has come for is number 11, Susie Gray. She's horribly short on the TAB at 240, but she has been backed on track. And outside of Susie Gray, Romilata at $4 is in the market as well on course. The Little Tacker coming forward, we wait for it. Aptego, Susie Gray, Exalted Lad, and Furnish, and we'll be ready for the City of Marion Stakes. Won last year by Lazing About, which is scratched this year, perhaps because of the bad gate and the big weight. Mr. Sands won it in 1999. Now Susie Gray still walking around with Aptego. Susie Gray, Aptego and Furnish, the last 3. Susie Gray prepared by Alan Bailey, looked after by Trevor Bailey in Victoria or Melbourne at Caulfield. Alan's son, and she's got a great record. She's won 6 of 15. She's looking for a hat-trick of wins. She gets back. That has been against horses over the 1250 journey on the inner. Set to go, ready to run. Ready for a start. Lead up to the Christmas handicap. And they stand very well. Barrier blanket at dimness. The starter waits. An attendant rushing in out wide. Might be Susie Gray. Set their racing now. Beginning slowly, Aptego, and first away from the inside, Dimness showing good speed, Stand By Me. The Little Tacker's going to take it up though, goes clear and heads off, Stand By Me, Aptego. Romilata working up next, followed by Exalted Lad, as they leave the back now with about 950 metres left to go, and then came Dimness on the inside of Furnish with a mouth wide open. From Spice Doll, Ken Cheval, and Susie Gray was last. The Little Tacker leads on the side at the 800. A length in front of Aptego, having a great run second. The speeds drop. Third, Stand By Me. Romilata's worked over nicely. Fourth to be one off, followed by Exalted Lad, Furnish and Spice Doll. Dimness a long way back on the inside, coming to the corner. Susie Gray will have to come around the entire field as they make that home turn. Ken Cheval might try and move her wider at the 450. The Little Tacker has had a cheap run in front. Is he the forgotten horse? He leads by 3/4. Aptego. Romilata let go on the outside. Stand By Me with a rails run. Then Exalted Lad, Furnish and Susie Gray right down the outside, trying to overhaul them. Aptego went to the lead from Romilata. Down the outside, Susie Gray continues to fly home. This is going to be a huge performance by the Melbourne mare. She's raced to the lead. Susie Gray went by Romilata. Dimness runs on with Ken Cheval, and Susie Gray won at second. I'd say Ken Cheval got up in time with Dimness. They're the two in the photo.